Hello, hello. What's up, everyone? Can y'all hear me? Fixed imaged. Hello, I just got hired as a septic inspector. I just finished my second week, but I'm still training. I've been learning things from your videos. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Mr. Freedom, how you doing? Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Arriba, el miedo. Oh my goodness. What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? Been a pretty busy week. Eric Flores, firefighter here. Love watching your videos. I appreciate it, Eric. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here, bro. Arriba. Heck yeah. What am I drinking? So, for those of you that have been keeping up with me on Instagram and Facebook, a little bit on YouTube too, I've been kind of talking about it. I actually went to Japan a few weeks back, so y'all know I love me some tiki drinks. Actually, the guy that invented the Mai Tai, Trader Vic Bergeron, he has a tiki bar and restaurant in Tokyo. So I went there. So this is a Mai Tai in a Trader Vic Tokyo Mai Tai glass. Love these things. I thought I brought a little coaster. Hold up, y'all gonna like this coaster. Let me grab it. Yeah, I got the Evangelion coaster. Let me see that focus in. Oh yeah. Got the Eva on the back, and then Asuka went to the Toei Park in Kyoto and ate at the Evangelion Cafe and grabbed that. Laying low on a Friday, I feel you. How can we share this video? I think you should be able to click the share button and copy the link. I'm actually about to go share to everything else. Let people know I'm live. I've been kind of doing these live sporadically across different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. But I figure I'll just make YouTube the hub where I just go live and they can join in if they want to. But yeah, I think you can click share and it should be the link to share it. Hope everyone's doing good. Thanks, Agent 7. Yeah, everybody's been doing good. A little hot over here in Texas. Greetings from Ohio. What's up, Kangaroo? Hold on, holy gun. Bye, Maria. You have a good one. Lemonade Lady AZ. Dom, you're such a neat guy. I appreciate that. Bill, cool, bro. For sure, it was a good time. Ted, hello from Canada. Sup, Dom? What's up? How you doing? Alberta, Canada in the house. We got a pink poop emoji coming in. How y'all doing? What part of Texas are you from? South RGV or Upper Side? So right here in the Central Texas area, kind of like the hill country. Hair looking glorious. Yeah, for those of you that haven't seen me in a while, I got a haircut, a little bit of a trim. My hair was like almost down to my butt crack, so it was it was in rough shape. I had a lot of split ends. It was crunchy. It was crunchy hair, so it wasn't in good shape. So shout out to the people at H Mart, got me looking right. Hello from Canada, eh? Smells like money. What's up, John? How you doing? Ontario. Got a lot of Canadians in the chat. I actually had a layover in Ontario on my flight to Japan. So I saw the ketchup chips. That was pretty interesting. I always like seeing like the different Lay's varieties when I go to different places. Miramichi, what's up, Beastmaster? Auburn, Washington, what's up, Cody? How you doing? Butt crack. Yeah, it was almost there. Can we have that? Maybe towards the end. Let me get a little more Mai Tai in me first. Howdy from Houston. What's up, Rick? I hope y'all are doing okay with that tropical storm hurricane situation. Love the Doraemon plushie. Oh yeah. He's keeping tight on the record collection here. American Jeremy. What's up? Hello from NC, North Carolina. All dressed chips are the best. I probably got to grab some next time I'm out that way. Hopefully it's more than just a layover. I know there's a lot of septic pumpers in the area that it would be cool to go meet up with them and see how they do things. Yeah, for sure, Jeremy. Shout out to you. Hello from Arkansas. What's up, Nick? Love you, amigo. Keep up the great vids, for sure. Yeah, I'm on a video frenzy right now, so I got a lot in the works. Did anything about Japanese plumbing and waste surprise you? So, the one thing I will say about Japan, if you've never been, everything, it doesn't matter if it's a convenience store restroom, it doesn't matter if it's a train station restroom, everything is super clean. Now, for those of you that are in America, the United States, you know you walk into a convenience store or a gas station, sometimes the bathroom looks like a crime scene. There's pee all over the floor, it smells terrible, it's overflowing because nobody wants to unclog it, stuff like that. Sometimes there's no toilet paper. If there is toilet paper, we call it John Wayne toilet paper because it's rough and tough and doesn't take shit from anyone. So in Japan, they all have bidets, and literally everywhere. I can't remember going to a single public restroom that did not have a bidet. So that was definitely a plus. And those bidets, they're fancy bidets. It's those Toto bidets. So they have a little switchboard. You feel like you're sitting in a rocket ship. So you walk in, and they have a little sanitizing for the seat. So you pull some toilet paper off, hands free, just stick it underneath. It drops some sanitizer for you to clean the seat, wipe it off, drop it down, flush it. And then on the little control panel, they have some ocean noises. That way if you're farting loud or something, like you're in a struggle, the ocean waves will cover up, they'll mask your noise. And yeah, it was so nice. I loved it. The manholes, I want to go back and do a video just on the sewer manholes. So for those of you that are unaware, like these sewer manholes on city streets, that lets you get down into the underground infrastructure of the sewers to clean them out or see what's going on. They're all decorated. So apparently that started in the early 70s, back when Japan was, I think, only about 60% on city sewer, and they're like a really big city. So 60% on sewer in a really big city is kind of crazy. So in order to get funding, what this one guy did, he decided to decorate the manhole covers. That way the ordinary citizens, they couldn't avoid seeing the city sewer. It's below ground, so nobody really thinks about it. They just flush their toilets. It goes out from their house. They don't see any problems, but it really makes you think when you're walking over those manholes and you see like a Sailor Moon cover or a Godzilla cover. You're like, dang, this is really important to make sure we function as a society. So that's how that started out, and it was pretty cool because where these manholes are located, they usually have like a convenience store or something, and you go in and you actually get like a little trading card, and it has the coordinates of the sewer manhole cover and a picture. So there's a whole set of people that go out and collect those. It's pretty cool. Agent 7, I plan to start working as a septic pumper. Got any tips I should know or anything I would need to know before I start working as one? I would say just watch my videos, because I've had a lot of people come up to me and they're like, man, I get new hires and I just tell them to go watch your videos and they come back as great employees. So yeah, watch my videos. Anytime a weird situation comes up, I'll make a video about it. But yeah, for the most part, just watch the videos. Everything varies from state to state, country to country, but what you're seeing is what I deal with in Central Texas area. It may be different, but for the most part, I mean, how to find the tank, how to know what's going on if there's a problem, how to pump it out, how to make sure it's clean. how to diagnose certain things, you know. And I would also say if your state gives out classes, like go ahead and sign up for those. Squat toilets in Japan. I saw one squat toilet. I didn't use it. I didn't have to go number 2, but I want to use one. It was pretty cool. Jeremy, my sewer was really bad. It's coming out because our yard flooded. Oh no. Jacob, what's up? Bye, Jeremy. Jacob, hello from Mississippi. What do you pay to dump per gallon? We're getting screwed here. The lowest rate is 40 cents a gallon. Dang. So we have a couple different plans we dump at. So it ranges from about 12 to 15 cents a gallon where we dispose at. But I do know of places where, yeah, it gets up there. I want to say in the Abilene area, I have a buddy. He's a pumper. And for a 1,000-gallon septic tank, it's almost $1,000 to pump out. Now, to give you some context, it's about $450 where we're at, but their dump fees are so high that he has to charge about $1,000 to pump out a regular residential septic tank. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, I would fight against it because where else is the sewage going to go? You know, I mean, it's really just affecting the homeowners. Saul Goodman, what was the worst tank you saw while cleaning? I've seen crazy stuff, man. I've seen syringes, a bunch of syringes in a septic tank. I've seen one that looked like it was 100% top to bottom pure wipes. All kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, I go out to these jobs never knowing what I'm going to expect to see. And I mean, I can only imagine what I'm going to see in the future. Am I watching anime from this season? Actually, I'm doing a bit of a throwback. I'm watching Sons of Anarchy. I never watched it while it was playing, so I'm watching it now. I'm almost done with season 1, and it's pretty good. I'd kind of put it as like a mix of Breaking Bad and Sopranos, which are both some of my favorite shows, so I'm loving it so far. Poop smoothies, $1 a gallon when you buy in bulk. Yeah, that'd be great. Hello, from a scale from to flushable wipes, how's the drink? It is great. So I actually made a double of this Mai Tai, and yeah, it's great. I actually started growing these this mint plant in my backyard just for my Mai Tais, and it is thriving. It's getting too big, actually. I didn't expect it to grow so fast. So my girlfriend is constantly telling me to go make a drink. Like, you need to cut that thing down a little bit. I'm gonna share my stream to Instagram real quick. Previous owner tried to use a plant pot as an outbound baffle. I've seen people use 5-gallon buckets, all kinds of crazy stuff. Does the green gobbler treatment work, Brian Dawkins? So as far as septic treatments, let me break it down to you how I explain it to all my customers. So I was into fitness for a long time, and there's so many different like pills and cleanses and stuff like that. But if you get down to the science, it's calories in versus calories out. So if your body burns 2,500 calories in a day and you eat 3,000 calories a day, you're gonna be overweight. You're gonna be gaining weight. Now, if you go to 2,200 calories and your body burns 2,500 calories a day, you're going to gradually start to lose weight. Now, with the septic system, I tell people whatever goes into your body and comes out, that goes into the septic tank. That's perfectly fine. So that's waste that comes from you. But anytime you start adding thick toilet paper, wipes, plastic products, feminine products, that is going to make it thicker, and it's going to need to be pumped out sooner. And people think it's like a miracle that they go buy these additives and it's going to magically break down a tampon or something. Like, that's not the case. So it's the same thing. It's like, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day and your body burns 2,500, it doesn't matter what pill you take, you're still going to gain weight. The thing you need to fix, the main problem is that you're overeating, and that's the same thing with septic. The main problem is you're flushing, I don't know, triple ply toilet paper and wipes and plastic. That's the main problem. So I always recommend to homeowners they switch to a bidet, or if they don't, get a diaper genie. I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant to throw away their wipes in a trash can. They're like, oh, that's going to stink up my bathroom. But the less paper products, the less wipes, everything that goes into the septic system, the longer it can go between pump outs, because the enzymes and the bacteria in the septic tank are going to have an easy job of breaking it down. So I mean, these additives, they don't hurt, but I just tell people it's not a miracle. It's not going to magically eat up everything and make it completely water. That is not the case. What's the funniest thing a customer said? Let's see. I don't know. There's so many. Let me see if I can think of one off the top of my head. I don't know if it's something funny the customer said, but it's something funny I said. So I was pumping down a septic tank one time and I had my hair down, and the lady's like, "Oh my God, your hair is so nice. Like, what do you do to it?" And I'm just like, "Wash it." Because honestly, that's what I do. So like, people think I have like some secret hair care routine, but I use off-brand Head and Shoulders from HEB, and I sleep with my hair wet. I brush it, I mean, in the morning when I wake up, so I don't do anything crazy to it. But people love my hair, so she busted out laughing because, I mean, I was just straight up blunt. That's what I do. I mean, I just wash it. What's the funniest tip or gift from a client? So we had a conversation with this customer, and he found out what beer I liked. So I actually had to show up the next day to do some more work on his house, and he had a whole case of my favorite beer waiting for me as a tip. So that was pretty cool. Jeremy, I'm back. Welcome back, Jeremy. Pour Pumper World Tour when? I need to get that set up. So like, I want to go and travel to different states, different countries, and see how they deal with sewage, wastewater treatment plants, septic systems, porta potties. I've had a lot of people reach out to me in the DMs. I know there's a company out in Australia. They deal out, I think it's like a safari type situation or a nature park. So they use composting toilets, but it is so remote that they're not able to get a truck out there. So they actually, for those of you that are unaware, a compost toilet uses no water. So just imagine like an outhouse, and when you use the restroom over time, they start adding like wood shavings to it to kind of like soak it up, and eventually it's going to get full. So in this situation, what they're dealing with in Australia, they are in these industrial size, heavy duty bags, and they will send a helicopter in and pull these bags out of those compost toilets and transport it to be disposed of. So stuff like that, that's crazy. I know on Mount Fuji too, in Japan, so you can actually hike up Mount Fuji and they have restrooms that you can use. But since you can't flush anything, they have composting toilets as well, and they have like this huge vehicle that treks up the mountain and picks up like all the waste and brings it back down. I mean, you got to realize everything has to go somewhere. So I want to see the whole process, and I know a bunch of y'all are curious as well. Okay, let's see. Aloha from Hawaii. How do you charge for pump outs in your area? Do you price per gallon pumped, or is it a flat rate per pump? So we kind of have a flat rate on gallons. So the minimum required in the state of Texas is a 750 gallon tank. Now there's some older systems that are below that, but we still keep the minimum at 750 when we quote these jobs. And that goes up. So like, It can be 750 gallons, 1,000 gallons, 1,250, 1,500. And these aerobic systems, they can range from 1,500, 2,500. It just depends. There's so much variety, but we will try and get in contact with the county to figure out how much gallons it is before, and give them an accurate quote before we show up. But if not, we go on gallons loosely. Got Marianne, I hope I pronounced that right. If not, I'm sorry. I'm putting some risers on this weekend, just got pumped out. Do I need to have the cement lids on the inside still? So on these risers, you want to make sure you have secondary safety lids. So I don't know which manufacturer you got your risers from, but so let's say you have the hole to the septic tank, and then you've got your riser up here. So you're going to have a riser lid, but you want to have a lid in between the hole to your septic tank and your riser lid. So if the manufacturer makes a secondary safety lid you can put in between, I wouldn't worry about that concrete lid. But if that manufacturer does not, I would say still leave that concrete lid in until you're able to find a secondary safety lid. Just in case something happens to that lid on the riser, if you know, I always bring up the example of like a small child. Like if something happens where that lid breaks, if there's no secondary safety lid, they will just fall right into the septic tank. So find that secondary safety lid if the manufacturer has them. If not, leave that concrete plug in. The only problem with leaving the concrete plug in is I deal with a lot of homeowners that are kind of elderly, and they're not going to be able to lift up a 45, 50-pound concrete lid if they need to check and see what's going on with their septic. So yeah, I would see if they have a secondary safety lid to install, but if not, leave that concrete lid in just for safety in the future. But Dave for the win. Cleaner tank, cleaner butt. 100%. Throw toilet paper in a trash can, never had sewer issues. Exactly, but you know, people get grossed out when you hear that. You go to Mexico. In Mexico, everybody throws their paper in the trash. People think it's the most disgusting thing ever, but people don't want to pay the plumber to come out and unclog the drain. Is there a list of licenses, classes to complete for startup? Any info appreciated. So, septic systems, if you want to get more in depth on it, they're called on-site sewage facilities, or OSSF. So I would just Google your state and OSSF and see what comes up, and they should give you a list of classes. I know Texas, it's through TCEQ, and in turn through Texas A&M. So you can go on there and find out all the licensing requirements, when the next class is available, what you need to get your license, things like that. So I'm sure it's kind of the same state by state. So I would just search that up. Extreme Off-Road. What made you want to work for the company? My dad started the company a while back, and he was doing it kind of part-time after work, after his full-time job, and it just got so busy that he needed help. So I came and moved back down to help him out. Clay, when you lost your transmitter and your dad went under the house, how bad was it with the broken pipe? So thankfully that house had been vacant for about a year. So the only thing under the house was what I flushed, and it was just water. So the reason I didn't go under that day is because I want to give it a little bit of time to dry out. So then my dad went out with the service truck and was able to get under there without getting wet. What is the best way to unclog holes in a septic system? My system floods a lot and the air outside stinks. I know there are chemicals you can buy to unclog holes in the system, right? Are you talking about the perforated pipe in your drain field? I know there's a couple different products, but if it's a constant issue, I don't know how old your system is, you might need more. You might need more of a drain field. Can you replace conventional systems with another conventional system, or does it need to be a sand mound? Now that is going to vary based off of county. Everything is at the mercy of the county, is what they want. So usually the process is you come and get a site evaluation, see how big your property is. They're going to come and do a soil test to see if your soil can actually handle a conventional leach field. And then they're going to look at you know, the size. So like if you already had a pre-existing drain field and your lot is small and you can't fit another one in there, you're probably going to have to go to an advanced treatment unit, whether it be a sand mound system. I know here in Texas it goes to an aerobic spray system or a drip system. So it's based off the county. So yeah, you're kind of at the will of what they want. Cost me $360 to get pumped out a couple weeks ago in Canada. That's cheap. I'd say you got a good deal. Chilean, we put TP in a trash can. Yeah, I was about to say Mexico, and I know a lot of South America do the TP in the trash can. Do I have a TCEQ certification? So I'm certified as an installer 1, which is for conventional systems, and I'm working on my installer 2. A while back, I recommended you use 8-inch mirrors for sunlight to the hole. What a difference over flashlights. If I ever get ahead, I will send you some. I appreciate that. Can you inspect a septic tank without pumping it? I will say, honestly, no. You can see so much when you pump out the system. What we run into a lot in our area is people will inspect the septic tank by running water in the house for like 15-20 minutes, and if it doesn't back up, they'll say, good to go. But I just pumped one out the other day. It had a large crack. You would not have been able to see that if you didn't pump it out. You're not going to be able to know where the septic tank is. Like, I've shown up to people that bought a house and they're like, we had the septic tank inspected and we don't know where it's at. I'm like, first off, how do you inspect the septic system and you don't know where the tank is? Like, the bare minimum to me for septic inspection, you need to know where the tank is, uncover all the lids. That's the bare minimum. And then you can run water and see if it overflows, see if the drain field's working the way it should. If it's an advanced unit that has a pump, aerator, check those, make sure they're working. But it's more than just running water. So no, I would say you can't properly inspect a septic tank without pumping it out. Smells like money for sure. Do I ever worry about germs or diseases? So let me put it this way. I tell people this all the time. I am very conscious of the environment I work in. So, I mean, I do my best to stay clean. I always wash my hands. I always sanitize. Next time you go out to a public restroom, watch these people that walk in, they use the restroom and walk right out. Those are the people you need to worry about. But no, I don't worry about germs or diseases. I'm on top of everything. I'm healthy. I run, I go to the gym. Top-notch health. I don't worry about it at all. Can I have your hair? I've lost mine. If I can grow this out a few more inches, I'll send you some. Lincoln. Good day, mate from Australia. Love your content. Keep doing it. It's time for lunch. I appreciate it, Lincoln. You have a good lunch. What are you eating over there? What's the nastiest thing when you're pumping out a tank? Man, the nastiest tanks are usually like people that use a lot of toilet paper. It doesn't allow for the waste to properly break down, so it stinks bad. Have you ever come across people using buried IBC totes as their septic systems? All the time. All the time. Do I wear a gas mask? No. That's a little overkill. I'm bad about flushing TP. I grew up on public sewer. It's hard to break the habit. I stopped for a while, but oops, 4.5 years. An IBC tote is like a water tank, or what they use to store chemicals. You'll usually see it's like a plastic cube wrapped in a metal cage. That makes it easy to like kind of haul around, move around. Currently on the toilet while watching this. Awesome. Had a tank I pumped yesterday that had a wipe and grease layer that was about 2 foot thick. Holy hell. Can't stick around, just want to say I love your videos and the poop smoothie. I appreciate it, Sage. You have a good one. Is it a good thing that I'm learning a lot? Nah, I mean that's what I make these videos for, to make my job easier by teaching homeowners and people in septic systems how everything works. Love the toys you find, like Lightning McQueen. Ka-chow. Yeah, we have a lot of Lightning McQueens at the wastewater plant. Jason, I'm an embalmer and don't have the stomach for what y'all do. Respect. No, respect for you, man. Best part about being a septic pumper is that you can fart and nobody will ever know it was you. Dom, watch Practical Engineering series on sewage disposal and treatment. I will watch that. Dang, I'm burning through my Mai Tai. I don't even have another one made up. I'm just making sure I shared my link to Facebook. What's the space I'm in right now? So this is kind of like a little chill out space in my living room. I've got my record player, so I'll usually play a good record or something, just chill out here and have a few drinks or my morning coffee. You can see I've got my my lanterns that change colors. Get more of that tiki vibe. They say on cruise ships they treat the sewage and dump it to the ocean. How can that be? So that is insane. So to properly treat sewage, you have to have pretty much a mini wastewater treatment plant. So for those of you that are living in the sewer, here's how your wastewater treatment plant deals with what you flush. So all the sewer lines will end up at the wastewater treatment plant. There's a lot of filtration that takes place. Things get separated out. So the solids will get separated out, dried, and then they usually use that as compost or they'll take it to a landfill. And then the water, they will separate it even further, and they'll even add, I can't think of the name of it, but they'll add some stuff to kind of separate it even further. They'll kind of thicken it, get those particles out of it, and then it goes through either UV treatment, chlorine, bleach, and by the time it makes it out, it's not safe to drink, but it's enough that it's killed all the pathogens or things that could harm you. So unless they're doing that on the cruise ship, I wouldn't say it's properly treated. Maybe you already mentioned, but what part of Texas do you live in? So I'm in Central Texas, like right in the middle of Texas, hill country area, stuff like that. Little fun fact for gamers, Mickey Mouse has a game on the NES. So another fact, for the SNES, I remember the game that Mickey had, and I played it. Let's see, what was it called? The Magical Quest, starring Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I remember playing that on my Super Nintendo. I still have my Super Nintendo, but I do not have that game. I probably need to get it. Something random I've always found kind of interesting is the drain field, just how the effluent's treated and seep into the ground, putting nutrients into the soil. So there's a lot that goes into it. Basically, the septic tank kind of acts as the filter, so it keeps that really thick stuff inside of it. And then by the time that effluent goes out, it's mainly just dirty water. So I wouldn't say there's a lot of solids in there, so it's pretty easy for the ground to treat it naturally before it goes underground to the groundwater and stuff like that. But just imagine if you just had an open sewage pipe stuff like that, it would be a mess. People would get sick more often. How many gallons is your tank? You have to make more than one trip. So mine is 2,500, so I don't have to make more than one trip. Very rarely. Central Texas, but don't say Waco like I did. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's Waco. But in your defense, Texas does have a lot of weird names for towns. Do those liquid leach field openers work? There's just so many different variables on what's going on the drain field. Like, is it getting too much water? Like, what's the problem? What's the main problem? I don't know. I never like saying for sure these things work unless I've seen it happen time and time again, but I honestly can't say. I appreciate you and your positivity so much. You're doing a very noble job indeed. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Any advice to a new pumper? I have a truck on the way. We'll be starting in a few months with little experience except for watching your videos. I will say invest in the proper equipment and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. You're going to get more work. Be honest, show up, and you'll do great. You'll do great. So welcome to the trade. Honorary Texan, for sure. Any coffee drinkers? Yes, I'm an avid coffee drinker. How much has changed since I joined the business? The craziest thing I heard, so like when I went to go renew my license earlier this year, they're talking about getting to the point where these aerobic systems, wastewater goes in, it gets treated, and it gets sprayed out through sprinklers. They're talking about treating the wastewater and rerouting it and repurposing it in your house as gray water for like stuff like flushing your toilet or even doing laundry. So when I heard that, my mind was blown. So think about it. You're gonna flush your toilet, that's gonna go into your septic tank, it's gonna get treated, and then reworked back into your house for you to use. They're talking about it and they have some working models, but it's only about like, you know, throwing it out there and implementing it. And you gotta think like those really, really, really have to be inspected properly and maintained, or else you're gonna deal with like, you know, straight up sewage being used to flush your toilet again. It's gonna stink. Opening an old septic tank that hasn't been opened in forever feels like opening up a grave. It can feel like that, and sometimes those lids do look like, we call some of those lids coffin lids because they're so big. It's like, it's crazy. They never thought they had to get back into them. The forbidden Nutella. Too hot for coffee? Shoot, I'll still drink my coffee in the morning. I don't care how hot it is. Poo poo party for sure. 12 out of 10, best streamer on YouTube. I appreciate it. I'm trying. Gotta run. Thanks for the live session. Catch you on your new videos. You have a good one, John. With a proper maintained septic, it could be a great way to save water. Yeah, so like in all of these classes I go to, they're talking about, I mean, water is pretty accessible in Texas. We have a lot of underground water. Large aquifers, but the thing is, eventually it's going to get to a point where there's going to be so many people that the problem isn't going to be to get to water. The problem is going to be to get to cheap water. So, you know, to kind of conserve water, cut costs. They're talking about reusing wastewater. A little story, I've had my septic pump out freeze during the cold Canadian winters. Not fun to clean up sewage in my basement. Hasn't been a problem for a year now. yeah, and that's why I want to kind of go around and tour like different states, different countries, and see how they deal with wastewaters. Because I know there's a lot of people that deal in really, really cold climates where freezing is a problem. In your next pump out short, you should do a quiet and then the loudest smells like money. Yeah, I'll think about doing that. All right, y'all. I think that will do it for tonight. I'm gonna try and do this more often. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Yeah, let's shoot. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna be. Let me see. I'll update y'all. So I'll post on my YouTube channel everywhere when I'm gonna go live next, just so you get a heads up. But yeah, no, I appreciate all your questions. And even in what I'm trying to do more is like if people comment like a good idea, I'm gonna try and make a full video on it to get my perspective on things. So hopefully that'll help y'all out. And for a lot of y'all that are starting out in the industry, videos like that, I mean, things that'll help you out. I mean, the way I'm looking at it is I wish somebody would have told me these things or told me about some of these tools when I first started out. So I want to make more stuff like that for y'all on the pumper side, and I want to make more videos for the homeowners to understand more about how their specific system works and what they can do if they're experiencing any problems. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe out there. Have fun this weekend. If you're out working, make sure you stay safe. Stay hydrated if it's hot. But yeah, I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all have a good night. I think I'm streaming from my phone, so I have to get up. This is kind of awkward. I'm sorry.